to die, GI. Do not trust them. You have lost this war, GI. Your army will leave you behind.
I was a soldier then. I still believed in orders. We are brothers, miss. We are the same. We are all brothers.
Waking up in this chair with all of these television screens surrounding you has to be the best introduction to the main menu in a Call of Duty game ever. Confused, intrigued, and to be honest, kind of spooked out. Seeing JFK on the TV, footage of the Vietnam War, needles and tools, arms strapped to the chair, being interrogated.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
What kind of Call of Duty is this? An incredible one. The setting of the previous Call of Duty games were all based on World War II, apart from the most recent introduction to new warfare, COD 4 and Modern Warfare 2. Seeing the success from the change of setting for both of these games, Treyarch wanted to follow suit, but in a completely different way.
5, 5, 7, 2, 1.
We had Call of Duty Black Ops, a game based on paranoia, torture, conspiracies and psychological warfare. A fresh title in the Call of Duty series, and oh boy, what an introduction this was. In this video, I will break down in points on what made Call of Duty Black Ops so unsettling and how the horror in this game was so strong that future Call of Duties have been unable to recreate this ever since. Number 1. Shock Therapy. The cutscenes in between missions were iconic and quite shocking. Literally. If we look back to the releases prior to Black Ops, although these cutscenes were revolutionary at the time, Treyarch went down the brutal route, most notably with World at War. This time, however, they turned it up a notch. We have these psychedelic flashbacks where we have the Secret Service trying to drain the answers out of us by torture, and piece by piece we start to solve this mystery and find out what they're trying to get to the bottom of. We are seeing these floating numbers, this repeated voice whispering constantly playing on a loop.
Keep hearing the f***ing numbers!
The narrator pressuring us to answer and to think.
Forget Reznov! Focus, Mason! We're out of f***ing time!
The weird glitches and distorted noises, all while seeing footage of Castro, the Vietnam War, JFK and others. It just feels crazy, and that's what Mason is. He is crazy, and we're trying to find out why. Not only are we trying to piece together these clues in each cutscene, but similar to World at War, we are learning history. There were things in these cutscenes which I hadn't learned before, and it was cool. But we also had the conspiracies during the Cold War and Vietnam, the aftermath of World War II and the top scientists being taken under the West or the Soviet Union, developing new weapons, testing these experiments. This was at a time where no one could trust anyone. Espionage was everywhere. The use of MKUltra to brainwash people, including yourself, secret operations, hidden agendas. You really get this unsettled feeling just from the cutscenes alone, but it's kept you glued to the screen. Number 2. Where history haunts. As mentioned earlier, this was the first time that a Call of Duty game had taken on a new war to focus on completely. Not only do we see the horrors of the Vietnam War,
Stay behind to defend Quezon. That wasn't your objective.
but we see the use of real-life historical figures, and it just feels even more immersive when this is the case. It's like we are replaying history. The secret operations like the failed Bay of Pigs invasion,
No. You killed a double.
the behind the scenes at the CIA and the Pentagon,
It never gets old. Overwhelming, isn't it?
Not yet.
Agent Mason,
Great honor, Mr. President.
sit.
but the actual setting of the game itself was brilliant. Considering this was the first game to focus on the Vietnam War in the Call of Duty series, we immediately got a picture of what it was like in real life, and there were points when it was truly horrific. We had the Quezon frontline where you instantly witnessed the huge waves of Viet Cong soldiers charging compared to the Americans defending. It is staggering.
On station, Vic! Infantry, coming right at us! We got a line of napalm out there, 20 yards! Just hit this!
We had the massacre of Hue City, seeing innocent civilians targeted in the siege.
Roger that, Lima Niner! Moving on! Molotov! At the window! You okay, brother?
I'm still breathing. We'll see you at the rally point.
Even the fact that the locations for Vorkuta, Executive Order, were all real-life places, it gives such an authentic feel, and it really adds emphasis to the missions and the story itself. Number 3. Brutality. Treyarch's previous game, World at War, showcased a whole new level of gore and brutality in the game. Call of Duty Black Ops went a step further. This relates to my previous point with the setting of the Vietnam War. Aside from the innocent civilians being killed, the combat itself between soldiers was dark. For example, during Saigon in the mission SOG, we see troops stamping on each other. Brutal wounds on soldiers.
Tango, crater!
The tunnels in Vietnam.
Mason, you gotta keep your shit. Let's come in.
Go ahead, Mason.
Swift's dead. We got VC crawling all over. Shit.
Weaver losing an eye. Soldiers choosing to end it once injured.
He's down! Left him!
Bowman's death.
Piece of shit.
And of course, the Nova 6 gas. This, however, links to my next point. Number 4. Reznov and Petrenko. What was cool about Black Ops was the continuation and introduction of a loved character from World at War, Victor Reznov.
Victor Reznov.
My friend.
A man which we established a bond with in the previous game. We know him to be tough, ruthless, and inspiring.
You lack the stomach to kill for your country, and let's show me that you are willing to die for it!
But in World at War, we played as Dmitry Petrenko. During the campaign for Black Ops, we suddenly get a flashback where Mason says Reznov told him about Nova 6 when in Vorkuta. You then hear Reznov speaking about Dmitry and how he fought by his side against the Germans in World War II.
Dmitry Petrenko was one of the bravest men I have ever known. He fought by my side from the siege of Stalingrad to the fall of Berlin.
You then realise that for the first time, you see who you was playing as in World at War. But what happens is truly gutting. After fighting alongside Reznov and retaking Russia and ultimately defeating the Germans, corruption took control at the top, and Russia wanted the Nazi secret weapons.
We are here for one German, and one German only. Dr. Friedrich Steiner. He is not to be harmed. Disobey this order, and you will be shot.
after discovering the hidden weapon, unfortunately, Dmitry Petrenko doesn't receive the peaceful death he deserved for fighting towards freedom.
After this mission, do you think we will go home?
I hope so, Dmitri. I hope so.
Instead, it ends like this.
Dmitry Petrenko was a hero. He deserved a hero's death. Instead of giving his life for the glory of the motherland, he died for nothing. Like an animal. He shot up died in Berlin.
Honestly, this was heartbreaking, purely for the fact that you had experienced being him and what he went through to achieve victory, to be chucked into a chamber and tested on. This was definitely a tough moment. Number 5. Nova 6. It's not nice imagining what was cooking in the labs after World War II and what each side had in terms of their arsenal, but Nova 6 gave us a pretty good idea. The looming threat of this being released is with you constantly in the cutscenes, in the mission briefs, in the flashbacks where Reznov and Petrenko capture the abandoned ship containing the gas, where we see it firsthand. It's scary. But the other thing is, when you're battling through the labs and facilities where they are testing this bioweapon, it's quite unnerving seeing all the bodies being operated on. The pigs, the monkeys, it's quite something. Purely because you can imagine that this was all done during the Cold War to develop something so scary in order to beat the enemy. Even seeing the effects of this firsthand, as mentioned with Petrenko, but also when breaking into the facility, you can see its devastating effects when it's unleashed in the open.
Alpha Squad, we're moving forward! Protect your hazmat suits!
It does make you wonder what actually happened in real life during these times and what sort of weapons were constructed. Very creepy. Number 6. The realization. Throughout the campaign, you will slowly start to piece together parts of this puzzle, and you are hit with the sudden realization once Mason has gone through the story from the start, filling in the blanks with the help of the interrogator. But when you think back, there were things that you picked up on where you realized you were hallucinating.
No one fights alone. What the fuck's wrong with you?
And getting your memory mixed up with the identity of being Reznov following his orders for revenge.
It's Victor! Reznov! My revenge!
However, the much bigger part here, which has left Call of Duty fans bewildered for years, did Mason shoot JFK? Firstly, we see the mental outbreak at the start of the game where Mason imagines shooting in JFK with a pistol. This doesn't happen. Mason's programming from MKUltra isn't fully active. He's still functioning normally, but still unstable. Throughout the campaign, there is no mention of JFK's assassination apart from towards the end, where Hudson says it was their attempt at MKUltra.
I trusted him. That's why it worked. It was their attempt at MKUltra. Dragovich programmed you to kill Kennedy, but Reznov sabotaged you. He wanted revenge for all the Dragovich done to him. Dragovich, Petrenko, Steiner, 3 new victims.
Even though you ultimately prevent the Nova 6 from activating, at the end, you see this.
23, 1, 12, 0, 12, 16, 11, 6, 12, 8, 4, 1, 6, 2, 10, 2, 1.
Texas.
Did Mason kill JFK? When you begin to replay certain things picked up throughout the campaign, for example in the mission Revelations, take a listen to this. But also, when you kill Dragovich, you hear these brief words.
Try to fuck with my mind! You swear you don't know anything! Try to turn me against my own! Try to make me kill my own president! Right?
Did Mason kill JFK? Players have speculated that Dragovich said this to continue the experiment on Mason and to still play with his mind and question whether he was the sleeper agent who killed the president. The ending to Black Ops was amazing, and I remember sitting there in shock realising that Alex Mason could have potentially been the one who'd done it. There are many other points which link to the horror of this game. The continuation for zombies from World at War. This would take a whole other video to cover, which I will do in the future, but this really took off the zombie storyline and had some iconic maps in this game. The fact you could get up out of the chair, go over to the computer, read important emails related to the story, read classified documents, it's creepy. It is a menu inside a menu, and it gives off a paranoid feeling. The feeling that even the menu isn't safe. It feels like you are digging through a government database you shouldn't be in. The emotions this game gave us was and is unmatched in any other Call of Duty game. It made you feel weird, puzzled, shocked, and most importantly, engaged. This was indeed the true peak period for Call of Duty. This game was a masterpiece. What things stood out to you the most in Call of Duty Black Ops? Let me know in the comments, as I would love to read them. If you like this video, make sure to check out the creepiness of Call of Duty World at War, as well as the darkness of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. You can click the screen now. As always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and a comment. And to be kept up to date with future videos, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Cheerio.